Hey guys. Hello, everyone. Sorry, I was trying to get all of my cast here so we can go ahead and do this reenactment. Okay, all right, guys. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you. Well, without further ado, I got to change my name. Hold on, got to change my name. I'm Lisa VanAllen. Hold on. I know a lot of people are doing their they're reading a transcript, but we're the best. We're the best because you know why? Because I was there and I saw exactly how she was acting. You know, I was there. I saw it. I saw it. Nobody drinks their water like me. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. And guess what, y'all? We will not kick anybody. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to hold people up for the likes and stuff like that because I got a wonderful email from someone. And they told me how unfair it is for them when they're supporting the channel, and it's so unfair to them that they get penalized when other people don't do what is right. But what we're going to do, we're going to pray and ask God that those will do the right thing. They will do the right thing. Thank you, Bird. Yes, I was the first one to do the reenactment, right? I'm the original. So shout out to the person that sent me the email. They are right. They are very much supportive of the channel. They support and they felt left out. And it's not fair. It isn't fair that other people would come in and sabotage and they get the punishment for other people. So what I am going to do, I am going to continue with the transcript, trans reenactment, because it isn't fair. It isn't fair for those who have been supporting the channel, who's been hitting the likes, and they want to hear it. And I appreciate them too. Thank you so much for that email. All right. I took your feedback and and you came and you gave me a reasonable and you're right, it's not fair. It's not fair to them. So, without further ado, let me introduce my cast. All right, Mr. Brindley, hello.
Hi everybody. Hi.
Mr. Julian.
Hello.
All right, we got Miss Court, Miss Leon, and Miss Judge. She's gonna play all three parts. Hello.
Hey, you guys.
All right, so guys, we will try to cover all the parts that we're missing. So, without further ado, let me go ahead and announce you. Would you like to announce it, court lady? The trial, what case it is, and all that. You want
Okay,
to?
let me
You
go.
want me to do that, huh?
I,
I could do it. I could do it. I know the number by heart. All right.
okay.
United States versus Robert Sylvester Kelly, aka R. Kelly. Milton. I mean Daryl McDavid, Milton Brown, aka
Oh, you might
Junebug.
cut it because you got it right there. Yeah, good.
Junebug. Okay.
Both
Mr.
sides.
Brentley, could you mute yourself? You got
I'm
noise in the
sorry.
background. Noise in the background. Okay.
Sorry.
Case number 19 CR 567, the Northern District of Illinois. Roll them.
Okay. You can take it down. On Surviving R. Kelly, you said I came across the one with me, him, and the 14-year-old. I watched it, and as I fast forward some, I'd see the other scenes with him and her only. You just agreed with me that you did say that on the show, right?
I said it. I see that.
Right. Well, you agreed that's what you said on the show, right?
I can't agree to saying that just like that. They edit stuff on TV shows.
Okay. Now she's not going to agree with it.
I, I, I.
Judge, she has to hear the audio. She has to
No, I can see it,
hear the audio.
but they edit stuff. So just because it says I forwarded, it doesn't mean that that's the order I stated that stuff. Is that what I that's is that what I'm saying?
Judge, now we need to listen to the audio based on what the witness.
No.
Has said.
I I see it.
It's now it's now become impeaching. We need the audio. Let's play it again with the audio.
Your Honor,
I see it.
I'm not really sure they can impeach a witness with an out of court hearsay statement.
They can edit that.
In this way, substantively.
It's for the purpose of impeachment, not the truth. That's the nature of the rule.
They can edit it. Though make me say it however they want. Like reality shows.
Wait.
So, Judge, at this point in time, we would ask to play it for the witness with audio because she's challenging whether she really said this fast forward portion. So let's play it.
I said in that order. I did fast forward through the tape, yes, but that doesn't mean I stated it in that order.
Let's play it with the audio and see.
She's got a set of headphones up there, Judge. They can play it for her if she wants to hear it.
She really don't want them to hear.
Do you agree that that's what you said, or you don't agree with that?
I agree that I said it. I did say about fast forwarding, but I didn't say it in that order.
Judge, I want the audio is going to inform.
Then you can play it.
Play it with the audio so she can hear it.
But quickly, let's.
I have the headphones on.
Well, I'm sorry.
15.
Actually, Judge, we need to play it for everybody to hear it now because this is impeachment now.
Right.
Play it for everyone to hear the audio, please.
Sound video was played in open court.
So, Ms. VanAllen, in what you just heard from the show Surviving R. Kelly, that was you talking about fast forwarding and seeing other scenes with just him and her.
Yes.
Right.
That was me.
Okay. And the only tape you ever saw was just him and her. Is that the one that you've been describing to us here today? Correct?
No, not at that point because I went to trial in 2008.
You were fast forwarding a trial that they had at Cook County grand jury?
At point in time when I said that statement.
No. You're talking about fast forwarding. Miss VanAllen, you were certainly not, you can agree with me, fast forwarding through the state's attorney's video when they played it for you at the trial, were you?
Repeat the question again.
Sure. When you were testifying at the trial in Cook County, you certainly wasn't fast forwarding through their video while you were giving your testimony, were you?
No.
Okay. And what you said on the audio that we just heard, and you can just agree if you heard yourself say the words, I cross The one with me, him, and the 14-year-old. I watched it and I fast forwarded some. I'd see other scenes with just him and her without me. You heard your voice say those words, correct?
Yes, I heard me say that, but
Okay. And you have told us, according to what you told us about what you say this video contained, that you say you showed to Mr. McDavid. What you told us is that the last scene on there is the threesome scene, right?
yes.
And so if you started fast forwarding, there wouldn't be anything else to see with him or her only, would there?
No, it wouldn't, but that doesn't mean I said it like that. It's what I'm saying.
Yeah, okay. And if we circle back now and correct that, we just heard about you. I mean, correct what we just heard about you on the radio. I mean, on the audio from Survivor R. Kelly. When we circle back to the testimony you gave in the before the jury in 2008, before the jury in 2008, you said you had never seen a tape with just Jane and Robert only. No, I'm sorry. You had never seen a tape with just Robert and Jane. Only you, Robert and Jane. You remember we just went through all of that, right?
I have never seen their tape. No, you're right.
And your explanation, we just went through with you what you we just went through what with you what you actually said, and you what you did is after I showed you what you said according to the transcript in Cook County, you said, well, it was described wrong or there was a mistake made in how I said it. That's what you said a minute ago, right? Yes or no?
I said that doesn't mean I said it that way. That's what I said.
Hmm. Doesn't mean regarding the transcript in Cook County, what you said first is maybe they got it wrong, and what you said second was maybe I said it wrong. That's what you said about the testimony in Cook County in the transcript. You remember saying that, right?
I said, what now? Maybe I, they said it wrong. I,
First, yes, just a couple of minutes ago, the first thing you said when you confronted when confronted with your testimony in 2008 is that maybe they got it wrong. There was an error. And then secondly, you said, well, maybe I got it wrong. Do you remember giving both those forms of testimony about the transcript in Cook County?
which statement on the transcript?
The only one.
That's a big transcript.
The only one that we talked about. I have never seen a tape with just Robert and Jane. Only me, Robert and Jane.
And I explained that to you.
Yeah, you explained.
That was a different tape because I never seen the other tape.
Something was incorrect about that. Is is what you said. And then when confronted with the audio of your statements on Surviving R. Kelly, you're saying that the people from Surviving R. Kelly, they changed the order. So there's something wrong with that too, right?
Look, I said that doesn't mean I said it in that order.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Yeah. Okay. Miss Van Allen, you have told us earlier today that it was Daryl McDavid who gave you the 20,000 after Keith failed the polygraph, correct?
To my recollection, I don't I don't recall. I don't remember. Honestly, that's
Well, this morning you said,
not exactly what I said, but yes, Daryl gave me $20,000.
wait a minute now. This morning you gave testimony that Dale gave you 20,000.
Yes.
Now you're saying that honestly, quote, honestly, I don't remember.
Yes. I said he gave me $20,000. Yes.
Okay. But a minute ago you said, honestly, I don't remember. Are you saying that you testified to things that you don't actually remember?
Objection. Mischaracterizes
About Mr. Dave McDavid?
and misstates her testimony.
Slow, slow down.
All right.
It's also harassing at this point, Your Honor, but it does misstate her testimony.
Well,
It's fair given the answer, Judge.
start over again.
All right, all right. So a minute ago, when I asked you, you said David gave you 20,000. You said, well, honestly, I don't remember. And then you said, well, yeah, it was Dale who gave it to me. So I want to know, when you said to the jury, honestly, I don't remember, was that the truth?
When are you talking about?
I'm talking about 2 minutes ago when I asked you. You told us that Dale McDavid gave you $20,000. He's the one that gave you 20,000 after Keith failed the polygraph. You stated here to this jury, honestly, I don't remember. You just said that, didn't you?
I I don't. You're trying to mix my words. I said that. Yes, he did give me $20,000, but I did say I don't recall. But you cut me off.
No,
So yeah,
no.
I did say
Okay,
that's what he gave me.
let me ask you.
Daryl gave me $20,000.
Hold
Hold the phone.
on.
Yes.
I'm going to ask you again because you said it. Not me. You said, honestly, I don't remember. So my question is, when you said those words, honestly, I don't remember, was that a true statement or was it not?
I need you to start all the way over with what you said. I'm not understanding you.
This is my objection, Your Honor. That is mischaracterizes. We can have a sidebar, but it mischaracterizes her testimony. The issues.
We don't need a sidebar. Clarify it. Apparently, she's
Yes, I see that she's,
not agreeing with you
well, okay.
or doesn't understand what you're precisely
All right.
what you're talking about.
Okay. So let's go back. And what I asked you was, you said earlier that Daryl McDavid was the one who gave you the $20,000 after Keith failed the polygraph. And the answer you gave me was, honestly, I don't know. Did you deny giving that answer maybe 5 minutes ago?
Uh, I said, I thought I said recollect.
Judge, under the circumstances, is it possible for the court reporter to read back to me the question and the answer about Daryl McDavid giving $20,000 after Keith failed the polygraph, and the witness answer, honestly, I don't remember?
Well,
This is just inappropriate. In the interest of saving time and avoiding a repeat of yesterday, what she started to say was that she did remember because he asked her what she testified to this morning and he cut her off. He's asked her a couple of times at this point whether it was
all right.
McDavid who gave you 20,000, and she said yes 4 times.
So at this point, Judge, I like to have it read back because now he's suggesting he has a different version.
No, I'm saying what she said, which is start all the way over. You started over, but then you
Well, I don't know how long.
assume, honestly. I don't remember in her answer, which is what she's saying is you cut her off.
Okay.
Well, let's find out what she says, if you can.
Is it possible to have it read back, Judge? I don't know how hard it is.
I don't know. How far back was it? Or maybe I can find it. Hold on a minute. Record read by the court.
Are you ready?
Yeah,
So you're saying Daryl gave you $20,000, right?
Yes.
You're saying Robert did not give you $20,000, right?
He didn't hand it to me. No.
And it was Daryl, you said, that told you that you would get the rest of the money when you come back, right?
Yes.
It was not Robert Kelly that told you you would get the rest of the money when you come back, right?
Right.
And Surviving R. Kelly, again, the sex tape scandal, episode 3, you talked about how you got paid for the tape, didn't you?
I'm sure.
And on Surviving R. Kelly, you said, I actually ended up contacting Rob and told him that I took the tape. He flew me back to Chicago. I told him they probably wouldn't just give it back to me, that he probably needs something or whatever to get it back. So he arranged for them to be paid to get him back his tape. He had them take lie detectors. Well, one of the guys and me, and I passed, and the guy did not because he was lying. He said that he said that he didn't make any copies, and he actually did. So he ended up giving, like a little payment for that copy, and then he said when you bring the rest back, you'll get, the rest of the money. Rob said 250,000 was going to be. That's what you said on Surviving R. Kelly, correct? Without reading it?
I'm not sure if that was verbatim. You know what I mean.
If we can play it for the witness, Judge.
I'm not saying I didn't make the statement. I said I'm not sure if it was that verbatim.
Okay, well then.
That way.
Well, let's play it for the witnesses so we can refresh her memory. Make sure she's certain. Just play it with the audio and make it easy.
if we play it with the audio, we need it to publish.
Okay. Well, now she can't see it there.
Can we just take it down, please?
Take it down.
Just play it for the witness.
Am I supposed to have it on my ears?
Shh.
No,
video-
use the words.
You can just read it.
Said video was played in open court.
Did you see that?
Yes.
Okay. And so based on those I'm sorry, y'all. And so based on those subtitles you read from the show, what I read to you is exactly what it says, right?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Yes, they can. Exactly what you said, right? Okay, I'm sorry. And
Yeah.
so
Uh-huh. Yeah. Uh-huh.
And so when you were on Surviving R. Kelly, you're talking about Robert flying you in, and you're talking about he ended up giving a payment. And then you said when you're bringing the rest back, you'll get, the rest of the money. When you were saying that, there was no mention of Daryl McDavid on Surviving R. Kelly in this portion that you just said, right?
That's true, but that doesn't that's because it was Robert's money.
Yes.
That's why.
And when you said,
I said he.
when he said you bring the rest back, you'll get, the rest of the money on that show. You hadn't said that Daryl McDavid was saying anything, right?
Not at that. No. What?
Right.
I don't understand.
Okay. So the only he you could have been talking about when speaking on Surviving R. Kelly at that time was Mr. Kelly, right?
No.
No?
No. I mean,
So the truth of it is on TV, it was Robert Kelly who was saying that, saying what you were going to get the rest of the money when you come back. But here in court now is Daryl McDavid. That's true, isn't it?
no.
Okay.
Why would I say that about Daryl?
I don't know. Good question. In addition to talking to taking in addition to taking Mr. Kelly's video, which we'll come back to in a second, but you took some other things that belong to Robert Kelly. I heard you saying earlier, didn't you?
I didn't take them. They were left.
Okay. Robert Kelly owned a Rolex watch. It was his watch, right?
Yes, it was.
He wore it on his wrist, right?
Yes.
He never said, I'm giving you this watch as a gift, right?
No.
Okay. And so Mr. Kelly, he left the watch in a hotel room. You were and you took it, right?
I didn't take something. He left.
Well, he left it and you picked it up and walked away with it, right?
Yes, if that's what you want to say.
Okay. And so you didn't have his permission, right?
No.
And you actually gave it to some other guy, right?
Yes.
Okay.
What I was going to do with a man's Rolex? What was I going to do with it?
What were you going to do with it? Well, did you think about perhaps calling Mr. Kelly and telling him, well, I'll give you your watch back. You left it behind. You didn't think about that?
Oh, that's a question?
Yes, it is.
No, I didn't think about that.
You stole Mr. Kelly's watch, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
You didn't? Okay.
I didn't steal something that was left.
You testified in front of the jury in Cook County, right? Remember that?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm referring now again to Defense Exhibit McDavid 20. You were asked this question in the jury trial in Cook County in 2008 as well, weren't you?
Yes.
And okay. And I'm referring now again to Defense Exhibit McDavid 20. You were asked about this watch in the jury trial in Cook County in 2008 as well, weren't you?
I'm sorry. Yes.
And what you were asked this question and you gave this answer, didn't you? With respect to the watch. It was a watch. You can see where I'm reading question and you stole it. Answer, yeah, I took it.
Wait. You moving so fast. How can I read it?
Oh, I'm sorry. Question, you stole it. Yeah, I took it. That's what you said, right? Oh, let me go up.
No.
A couple questions.
I didn't say I stole it. That was their question. I said, you're right. I didn't give it. He didn't give it to me.
Hold on a minute.
You?
Let's go back and see.
And they said, you stole it.
Line 8.
They said, you stole it.
Yes. The question at line 8 was, the lawyer asked you, he didn't give you that. You stole it, didn't you? Your answer was, you're right. He didn't give it to me. Question was, you stole it. Your answer was, yeah, I took it. That's what you said to the Cook County testimony, correct?
I didn't say I stole it. But yes, I did say took it out of the hotel room. Yes.
Okay. So as you sit here today, it's your view that taking a Rolex watch that doesn't belong to you from the owner from that watch and giving it to someone else without his permission, you do not consider that stealing.
I didn't steal it from him. No.
So you don't consider that stealing.
I didn't give it back, which is not a good thing, but I didn't steal it.
Taking someone else's property and not giving it back, Miss Allen, is
I didn't take
All right. I think
take it.
I took it out the hotel room. I didn't take it from him.
I think you have gotten this one as far as you're going to get it.
All right. Okay. Let's talk about the next one then. His necklace, his cross necklace. That didn't belong to you either, did it?
No.
It was his, right? He wore it. It was his jewelry, right?
Yes.
And he left it somewhere, right?
Yes.
And you took it and you left with it, right?
Yes.
And it didn't belong to you. And you didn't have his permission, right?
No.
And then, without his permission, you took his valuable gold cross, and you sent it to Keith Morrell, right?
Yes.
But I suppose you didn't steal his cross either, right?
It was a similar situation to the watch.
But you don't think that's stealing.
It was, I'm not saying that it was right, but no, I didn't steal,
Girl.
steal it. I'm not a cat burglar or anything.
A cat burglar. Okay. Well, you so what about this video? I think you agree with me that you stole that, right?
How can you steal something when you own it? Oh my. It was just as much mine as his. I'm on the tape.
Mr. Kelly recorded the videotape with his video recorder, correct?
Yes.
Mr. Kelly didn't tell you, hey, this is your tape. You get it. You get to take it home with you, did he?
No. You know that.
Okay. And so you took a videotape belonging to him that wasn't yours, and you didn't want to admit that wasn't stealing either. Am I right?
I took the tape.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about why you took it. We talked earlier about the fact that you choose not to destroy it in order to make sure no one else saw it. You recall those questions? I take it yes.
That you asked me?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. It was in 2001 when you took Mr. Kelly's tape, right?
It was around, yeah.
All right. And then you gave it to Mr. Morrell. And I guess he held on to it for 6 years, is what your testimony. Is that your testimony?
When when I did say six when I did say 6 years, when did I say that?
Wow. Well, you said that it was in 2007 when you claimed to have given it to Mr. McDavid. So in 2001 to 2007, I think that's 6 years,
Okay.
isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. So 6 years, this tape that you had been so worried about keeping from the public, you left it in the possession of this man, Keith Morrell, for 6 years without ever trying to get it back or see that it was destroyed. That's your testimony, correct?
Repeat that.
Sure. The tape you're so worried about keeping from getting out, you left it in the possession of this guy, Keith Morrell, for 6 years without ever trying to get it back or make sure that it was destroyed, right? Correct?
Yeah, I left it in his possession.
And it's your testimony today that when you took the tape, you had no intention to use it to try to get money out of Robert Kelly. That wasn't your intent when you took it, right?
That wasn't my intent when I took it. No.
But then 6 years later, as I understood you, 6 years later, Keith Morrell called you or contacted you somehow and told you that, well, maybe that's not what you said. I want to make sure I get this right. So you said earlier, I think, somehow you found out that the tape might be for sale or could be sold, right?
Yes, through Keith.
And Keith, what he let you know was that the tape could be sold for $200,000 to somebody, right?
He was saying that his you know the his people or whatever, they were trying to do something with it. Yeah.
There are people down there who wanted to do something with it and get paid 200,000, something like that, right?
That's what he said. Yeah.
Now, obviously, when you heard about $200,000, that one might get for the tape. You based on your testimony this morning, you were not concerned about trying to get any money for yourself, right?
No, I just wanted to get the tape back.
And what you just said was that you wanted to get the tape back, right?
Yes.
Okay. But what you testified to this morning is when you contacted Keith Morrell about his this tape that you told us you wanted to get back. You didn't say, Keith, hey, I want to get back. I want to get that tape back myself. Did you?
I did not say to destroy it. No. No, I don't understand your question.
You didn't say, Keith, I'd like to get the tape back so I can destroy it. For example, did you?
I did not say to destroy it. No.
Okay. And what you said earlier is you decided that you wanted to give it back to Rob, right?
Yes.
Rob, the guy you're saying today that you wanted to give it back to, this is the same Rob that you said you took it because you didn't want him watching it. If I heard you correctly this afternoon, right?
Yes.
So the guy you didn't want to watch it so badly that you took the tape 6 years ago, when you find out it can be sold for money, you decide the thing to do is give it back to that guy. That's your testimony, right?
Yes. It's the truth.
Yes. This it was the guy that you took the tape from, and you said you didn't want him watching it anymore. This is the same guy that you said this morning compelled you to do these threesomes that you didn't want to do, right?
Yes.
And this was the same guy that you testified this morning when you watched video of what he was doing that you said earlier you were disgusted by this man, right?
I said by the tapes.
The tapes
Watching, yeah,
with him or them, right?
with all the different people. Yes.
Yes.
I was disgusted by that. Yes.
So this guy who you were disgusted by, who had compelled you to do things you didn't want to do, and who you absolutely didn't want to see the tape so badly that you took it, after hearing it could be sold for money, the thought you had was, let's give it back to him. Did I get that right?
Yes. I knew that he would have the most to lose and that he could get it back.
Yeah. Well, your friend Keith Morrell, the one who had it, right?
As far as I know, yes.
He was your friend. He was holding it for you for 6 years, right?
As far as I know, yes.
And so you told today that you told your fiance at the time, Mr. Earl Brown, about this situation with the tape, right?
Yes.
And you told Mr. Brown, I suppose that this tape somebody said it could be sold for 200,000, correct? You must have explained that to him.
I guess. I'm not really sure exactly what I told you,
Okay.
but I did tell him about it. You're right.
And then based on what you told him, you testified here this morning that it was you or Brown that contacted Mr. Kelly to talk about this, right?
Yes.
It was not you. It was you or Brown, right?
At first, yes.
This is the same you or Brown who I think I heard you say this morning. Was it, did he get caught with the AK-47 or something, this same guy?
Yes, it was.
That's the guy that you decided to have contact Mr. Kelly, right?
I didn't have him contact him.
You asked him to contact him? No?
I did no such thing.
So he contacted him all on his own without your knowledge.
He contacted him, and then after that, I called Rob myself.
Wait. So you Brown called him, tells him about the situation, and then you call him yourself after that.
Yes, we spoke.
Okay. So if you or Brown told him about the situation, would it make more sense for Mr. Kelly then to contact you to find out what's going on?
I don't understand. I what are you what do you mean make more sense?
Okay.
Why would it make more sense?
You talked about how this contact, how you talked about how this contact, this information about the tape and money you've talked about previously, how all happened, about that all happened, correct?
Repeat the question?
Yeah. You previously discussed at other times how this happened, how Mr. Kelly became aware of this notion of this tape and being sold for money and all this. You've talked about that before.
Uh no. I didn't say it was sold for money.
No,
You said
the fact that
being sold for money?
it could be sold for money. This whole incident with the tape and contacting Mr. Kelly, you've talked about that before with investigators, law enforcement investigators, right?
I'm not sure what the conversation was. I mean, I know we spoke about the tapes. Yes. You can't ask me to remember every word I said to everyone,
That's okay.
but I'll tell you the truth.
I know.
Let me tell you the truth.
I think at this time we're going to take a recess for 15 minutes and change the reporters.
Wow.
Brief recess. All rise. Court, please be seated.
You may continue your. You're supposed to be. I'm sorry.
You judge.
Mm.
Judge.
Mr. Brindley, you may continue your cross.
Thank you. Okay. So when you stopped, you said that right before we stopped, I would say you said that Mr. Brown called Mr. Kelly to explain the situation to him, I guess, in the first place, right?
Go back a little bit. What you're talking about?
Yeah, we're talking about Yul Brown calling Mr. Kelly. You said that Yul Brown called Mr. Kelly to talk to him about the situation, right?
Well, from what I know, he told me that he contacted him. I wasn't there when he called him.
Okay. And then you said that after you contacted him, right?
We were in contact, yes.
No, no. A few minutes ago, I want to make sure that you tell me, are you saying you contacted him and then you called him? I thought that's what you said. No?
We were in contact after, yes.
So you're in contact by you calling him, or did Mr. Kelly call you?
Honestly, I don't really remember which one. I may have contacted him. I may have, he may have contacted me.
Okay, Miss Van Allen. The truth of the matter is, your Brown called Mr. Kelly to try to stake him down for money. Mr. Kelly called you because your Brown told him that you stole some kind of tape and he was trying to figure out what it was. That's the truth, right?
No,
No? So, and in fact, before Mr. Brown called him to try to shake him down for money, you called to try to shake him down for money, right?
no.
No? Well, in that Defense Exhibit McDavid 20, your testimony in 2008 before Mr. Kelly's jury is that time at that time you were asked these questions and did you give these answers? All right, let me get this straight. You say you called Mr. Kelly. Yes, from Atlanta. Yes, and you said to Mr. Kelly, I have a sex tape involving you and me and Jane. Yes. And he said, you claim I don't want to talk about this on the phone. You gave that testimony in Cook County in 2008, correct?
If that was what it says,
Okay. So when you're in 2008, you said that you were the one that called Mr. Kelly and told him all about this. That's what you told the lawyers in 2008.
that doesn't mean that you didn't call first.
Well, if you called first and told him about it, then you wouldn't need to call down there, as you said here, and tell him that you had a tape. He'd already know because you told him.
He doesn't know.
Right.
He doesn't know you. He knows me.
Okay.
So, of course, he would ask me if it's true.
No, no, no. You're not saying that he's asking you if it's true. You're saying that in Cook County, when you went to the jury and you testified, you said under oath, you called him and told him it was true. That's what you said, right?
Either way.
No, no, it's not either way. In fact, it was one way or the other. One thing is true and one is not. So I want to know. And if you don't know, you can say you don't know. Did you call him and tell him about the tapes? Yes or no?
Right now, today, I'm not 100% sure. If it was me calling him or him calling me,
Okay. But whoever it was, as I understand, stood what you testified to this morning, you said that you told Mr. Kelly that there was this tape which you've claimed had this person Jane on it. You claimed that you told him that, and that you said that you couldn't get it back unless got some money or something, right?
I don't think I said some money or something. I didn't even say some money. I know I didn't say that.
Well, you told Mr. Kelly that they were going to need something in order to get the money to get the tape back. Isn't that what you said?
Yes, but it doesn't mean I'm asking for money or saying money. It,
I didn't. Well, if you tell Mr. Kelly they're going to need something to get it back, it's pretty clear you're telling him people want money. These people want money. What else are you going to want?
it's not pretty clear.
No. Oh wait.
No.
Did you think they were going to ask him to author a song for them or something?
It, it may have been.
Yeah, no. The reality is, you told him, according to you, Keith and them are going to need something to get the tape back. But you say now that you were not suggesting money.
How would I know? What else he could?
Well,
I wasn't suggesting anything.
when you said Keith, when you said the words Keith and them are going to need something to get the tape back, the something, if it wasn't money, tell me what it was.
How would I know? What else it could he could?
You said you made the statement. How would you know?
Something could be like you said, even if it could be a song or
Yeah.
they used to record with them. They used to record with them, so it could be have been something, anything. It could
Mm-mm,
be anything.
mm-mm. What did you say was the second thing you said?
They used to record with him.
They used to record with him. Okay. And so it's funny. Then you said Keith and them are going to need something to get the tape back. And you didn't suggest anything about money. But then Mr. Kelly said, oh, well, how about $250,000? I'll give it to you, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I want to make sure I understand you said. I want to make sure I understand. You said Keith and them need something to get the tape back. So then Robert says, I'll give you the money, right?
Objection, asked and answered.
He didn't say it like that.
Well, you're true, sustained.
The man who you're saying needed something was Keith Morrell, not you. You agree with that, right?
Yes.
Okay, and you weren't expecting any money, right?
No.
And so with that explanation, Mr. Kelly says he's going to give you 250,000 to disperse this abuse. Somehow. I'm sorry. Mr. Kelly says he's going to give you $250,000 to disperse however you choose.
Yes.
Okay. So then you have him say this to you. You claim he says this to you without you ever asking for money, and then you went to Chicago and you met with him, correct?
Yes. But he didn't say that over the phone. That was when we met.
He said it when you met. Okay. Fair enough. Fine. And then after you had that discussion, eventually you and Keith came to Chicago with a tape, right?
We didn't come anywhere together.
I didn't say.
You said you and Keith came to Chicago.
Okay, if you don't like that word, we'll try something else. You came to Chicago, right?
Yes.
At the same time, Keith came to Chicago, right?
Yes, he came with the tape.
Keith had the tape. Okay, fine. So you testified this morning that when you were coming to Chicago again, you weren't expecting to get any money when you came here, right?
Right. Hold on. Sorry, my phone's ringing. I wasn't looking for any sort of payment at all.
But you weren't looking for any sort of payments, and you hadn't. Pastor. But you weren't looking for any sort of payments, and you hadn't asked for any money. But after you got here, you guys took lie detector tests, right?
Yes.
He failed the lie detector test, but because he was supposedly harboring copies of whatever this tape really was, and you got paid 20,000, right?
I received 20,000. Yes.
Okay, so Keith failed the lie detector, and he's the one that got the tape. But you still got $20,000, even though you never suggest you should get any money. Do I have that right?
You got it right.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Then you come back a second time with Keith, comes back a second time, and then you get $50,000, right?
Yes.
And you said once again, when you came back the second time, you weren't seeking or expecting any money, right?
Objection. Mischaracterized witness prior testimony.
I'm asking if it's true.
She can correct it.
So when you came back the second time, you were you seeking or expecting money the second time?
I mean, at this point, I had spoken with Daryl, and he already let us know how it would be distributed and what would happen. So yeah, we knew what was going to happen.
Okay, so you got 50,000 the second time, right?
Yes,
But you said that you didn't get the same amount that Keith got, right?
I didn't. I didn't the second time.
Yeah, and you said the reason was because Dale didn't want to give it to you, or Dale refused to give it to you, right?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, but you agree with me, Miss Van Allen, that Dale McDavid worked for Robert, right? Kelly, right?
Yes, he did.
Robert Kelly was Dale's boss, and there's no doubt about that, right?
Yes,
Okay, and you told me that this whole thing started out with Robert's telling you that you were going to get 250,000 to disperse as you wish,
yes,
right? Okay, and Dale McDavid somehow, according to you, is now making decisions that you can't get money. Is that right?
that's true.
Okay, so Dale McDavid is limiting how much money you're going to get. It's him, right? He did it. He limited the amount of money, right?
Yes, he did.
Daryl.
Sorry, guys.
Line 1.
I
What do you mean?
Daryl,
You're saying he limited?
he said that you're not getting the money. That's what you're, uh, he said that you're not getting the money. That's what you were thinking you were supposed to get, right?
Can you read that and where he said that? Like the statement, how he did say it?
No, no. I'm talking about your testimony. I don't have a statement in my hand.
Do you have my testimony? I would like to hear what I said. You're telling me that I said it, and I
I'm asking you.
hear that?
I'm asking you. Okay. Did Daryl McDavid tell you that he was not going to give you the amount of money that you were supposed to get?
Oh,
17.
I got. Go ahead, read it for me. I'm
He gave me the 50 and told me to come back I'd have to come back again for the other 30, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, all right. And you're saying that Robert had said you were going to get all the money to disperse. Well, you didn't call Robert and tell him, hey, Dale is going against your word, breaking your deal, did you?
Daryl told me that Rob already knew everything. Remember, after he threatened me.
Okay, wait. What? Wait, what? Dale threatened you? That's what you
That's
said?
threatened my life. Yes.
Well, here's the thing.
He should have murked me from the beginning.
No, I heard you say that.
Yeah.
That's good. Not good that you're saying he said that, but I'm interested in the timing. You just told me here now that you came back this second time and Dare said you weren't getting the full amount of money you were supposed to, and you had to come back another time, right?
Yes, I had to come back.
And you said, and Daryl threatened me, right?
What do you mean I said?
You said I had to come back. You just said a second ago.
He did threaten me.
Yeah, and you said you were scared for your life.
Wouldn't you be if someone said they should have murked you from the beginning?
I'm going to come to
Yes.
the truth of what you claim he said in a minute. But you scared for your life, right? He threatened you, and what you said was, well, Dare told you that Robert already knew that he was limiting the money, and Dare threatened me, so I didn't call Robert. I understand that, right? Correct?
He said that Robert already knew everything that was going on.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the thing. This trip here is the second trip when he limited the money, and you're saying he threatened you, saying he was going to murk whatever that is, whatever you said, right? After that, you went down to Georgia, went home, right?
Not then, but yes, he did threaten my life. I didn't say he threatened me on the second trip. That's not
13.
what I said.
13, Sylvia.
That's not what I said.
2 minutes ago, when I was asking you, Miss VanAllen,
Go to the next one. I didn't say that. I
two
didn't
minutes,
say that. Oh,
2 minutes ago, Miss VanAllen, when I asked you, well, didn't you call Robert and tell him that Dale was going against your word and not giving you your money? And you said, well, no. Don't you remember? Dale said Robert already knew and he threatened me.
Right.
Okay.
I didn't say behind that.
A minute ago, it sounded like then he was threatening you because you came back the third time. No?
I'm saying that I didn't call him then because I called him. I did call him not then.
You did call him?
Just not then. I didn't call him then. No.
But not then. Okay. So I understand you now. You're saying that he didn't threaten you then at that second meeting. He threatened you when you came back the third time, right?
To my knowledge, yes, he did.
Okay, well, because of if he threatened you the second time and you were so scared for your life, it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense if you to come back again to see him, would it?
I said the third time, so
I know because it wouldn't make sense for it to be the second time, right?
I'm I'm not. Say it again.
Sure. If you were, if you really, if he really threatened you and you were really scared of it and he threatened you the second time, you were there. It would not make sense for you to come back a third time, right?
Yeah, if he told me to, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I come back if he told me to come back.
Okay, so then I don't understand. Are you saying he threatened you on the second meeting or the third meeting?
The third time. I don't understand.
You don't understand.
You're mixing me up.
Okay, let's talk about you discussing this with some of law enforcement agencies to see if that's more clear. On in April of 2019, you agreed earlier, if you look at it, that you had a conversation with some federal agents from Chicago. Do you recall that discussion?
With you?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And during that discussion, You said to the attorney, I'm sorry, to the U.S. attorney and the federal agents involved in the interview. 1 second. I'm sorry, Judge. Okay, so when you were talking with the agents in April of 2019 about the threatening incident, you said that you were threatened during the meetings at the attorney's office. You were threatened by McDavid, and you recall something about we should have murked you or murdered you from the beginning. And then you went to say, since the issue remains unsettled, you and Keith returned to the lawyer's office on a later date and time. You remember saying that to the agent in April of 2019?
I don't remember verbatim, but yes, I did say.
That sounds right.
And he was going to murk me from the beginning. Yeah,
But what you told him then is that he made this threat and the issue was still unsettled. And so you came back again to see him again after that threat, right?
I may have worded it incorrectly, but yes, I was stating everything that happened.
So that
Yes,
might have been another incident where somebody made a mistake.
I didn't say
Right.
made a mistake. I said I may have stated it incorrectly.
Yeah.
But I didn't say that they made a mistake.
But now you made a mistake this time, right?
It's very possible for me to have made a mistake with that.
Okay, well, let's get down to the murking thing since we are on the subject. You claim that, first of all, Daryl McDavid is Robert Kelly's accountant, right? You know that.
I assume too. So
Okay, and he was a business manager, right?
I assume so.
Okay. And I mean, you didn't have any reason to believe that he was some sort of murderous accountant, did you?
Not until he said he should have murked me from the beginning.
Now you say that he said that, but one thing is true, though. You have tried to get money. You have tried to get other people to say that they knew about this Merkin statement, haven't you?
Like who? No.
How about Keith Morrell? Remember him?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, well, you talked about having these Facebook conversation with Keith Morrell.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And let me ask you something. When was it that you first found out that there was going to be a criminal investigation into some of these issues related to what you been discussing today? Do you know?
What do you mean? What I've been discussing today?
Your testimony, the charges against Mr. Kelly.
Which one? Which event? It's several charges.
This trial, the one you're giving testimony about today. When did you learn that there was a criminal investigation afoot?
I don't remember exactly, but it was just a couple of years, maybe almost 3 years ago, 2 or 3, something like that.
Okay. Well, on October 24th of 2018, did you have a Facebook conversation with Keith Morrell in which you asked Morrell, did I ever speak to you about why I was crying when you met with Daryl
Yes,
with the tape?
yes.
When you asked, was I okay?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So in October, I'm sorry. So in October of 2018, you asked Keith Morrell, did I ever tell you about why I was crying when we met with Daryl with the tape?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And when you were talking about there was this threat, right?
I assume so. I mean, I didn't finish the.
Oh, I will. No, no, no. I will. But first, I want to just, well, I guess we can finish. We can go ahead with it. You can take a look at it if you like. This is McDavid Defense Exhibit 2122. McDavid Defense Exhibit 22. Facebook messages between you and Keith Morrell and what you said to Mr. Morrell on October 24th, 2018 is, did I ever speak to you about why I was crying when we met Daryl with the tape when you asked, was I okay?
Yes, I asked that. I did that. Yes. Hello? Y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Where'd she go? Go ahead, take it over. Perspective.
Mm-mm. You asked him that question,
Mm-hmm.
and he said no, right?
Right.
Okay, but here's the thing. You just told me that Mr. McDavid threatened you. It wasn't the second time you told me
You
he
make him
threatened
mute me
you.
off of here.
Huh?
What? What she said?
I don't know.
What happened? Y'all skipped all over the place. I'm sorry.
No, you disappeared on us.
I don't know how.
So you're
I ain't
on.
never been nowhere.
Yes, you did.
You muted or something. So
You,
you could start on line 1.
she wasn't muted.
We
I'm
can
y'all.
hear her.
Y'all can hear me now.
You
Can you
keep
hear me
going in.
now?
You keep going in and out.
Oh, I don't know why it's happening like that. Y'all can hear me now, though. Hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
You're on line.
Where
Let's
I
start
start
line
on line.
5. Line 5.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, but you said this morning the last time you came, Keith wasn't there.
She disappeared again. Yes, yeah. Keith wasn't there last time.
Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, something's wrong with her connection. She probably have to get out and come back in. I'm gonna kick her off and then she's gonna have to come back in because she's having problems. Go ahead, on perspective. She's having problems.
Okay.
The
And the
7.
last time you came, there was no tape, was there?
Why would there be a tape the last time? No.
Well, what you asked, I know you look confused now, but look at what you asked Mr. Morrell.
Uh-huh.
Did I ever speak to you about why I was crying when we met with Darrell? With the tapes, when you asked, was I okay? And he said no, right?
Right. Yes. I'm looking at it.
And then on to the next portion of this dialogue. You said to Mr. Morrell, I didn't tell you Daryl threatens my life. He said, we would have murked you from the beginning. I didn't tell you that. Keith's answer was, wow, that's crazy, right?
Yes. What's wrong with saying that?
I'm not saying anything is wrong with it. But what I am starting to get at is this, Miss VanAllen. So what you're talking about here when you're talking to Mr. Morrell is this incident where you say you were crying because you were threatened by Mr. McDavid, right?
I'm not honestly, I don't remember.
You're not sure? Well, it says, I didn't tell you Darrell threatens my life. That's what you're
Right?
talking about is the Merc thing.
Hold on a second. Yes, I did say that.
Okay, so you did say that. And
I mean, you see it.
huh?
You were looking at it, right?
Yeah, I know.
I gave that.
But at the time that you're talking about, that presides here. Let's read it all in order. Did I ever speak to you about why I was crying when we met Darrell with the tape? When I asked you, was I okay?
Uh-huh.
No.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't tell you Darrell threatened my life. He said, we should have murked you from the beginning. I didn't tell you that? Wow, that's crazy, right?
Yeah, I'm reading it.
And then he talks about, I'm asking the production company, I'm asking the production company wanted to speak with someone who would know. I'm sorry, you're talking about it. I apologize. I made the wrong pronounce. I'm asking the production company wanted to speak with someone who would know he threatened my life. I told other people. I just thought I told you as well. His answer, yeah, you never told me. I always was wondering why. So you're definitely talking about the threat, right?
It seems so, yes.
And this was, sorry. And this has got to be the same story of a threat that you've been trying to tell us today, right?
Right.
Yeah, let's go back to page 1 now. Did I ever speak to you about why I was crying when we met Darrell with the tape? Miss VanAllen, you've told the jurors that there was no tape at the third meeting, right?
Objection. This has been asked and answered numerous times, Judge.
All right, go ahead quickly. Oh, Tamir, where'd she go?
He just put,
I will. You told the jurors that there was no tape at the third meeting, right?
there wasn't.
Okay, so if you were crying when you met with blank and Keith wasn't there at the third meeting, right?
No.
All right. So if you're crying about a threat at the third meeting and there's a tape involved, let me rephrase that. So if you're crying and there is a tape involved, then you're not blank and Keith is there blank.
Mm-mm, don't.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Tamir,
um
Tamir, you ready? 17? Okay, continue because she's not ready.
you're not talking about any third meeting at all, are you? You can't be. It doesn't make sense, right?
So you're asking me, did Daryl threaten my life the second time or the third time?
No, I'm asking.
Because he definitely threatened my life.
I know that's what you like to say, but the thing of it is, Miss Van Allen.
Objection to the commentary, Your Honor.
All right. The thing of it is, Miss Van Allen, that you've told us this story about how you were so afraid for your life. It was this third meeting, and you were so upset because of the threat that you talked to the state's attorney's office. But when you're trying to tell Keith Morrell about this same supposed threat, you're talking about a time when there was a tape and Keith was there, right?
Repeat that?
Yeah. When you're talking about this time to Keith, talking to him about, did I tell you about the threat when you're oh,
Oh,
objection, Your Honor.
no. This is just harassing.
When you're talking,
Ask the question.
when you're talking to Mr. Morrell about this threat, the time you're talking to him about it and saying that it happened involved Daryl and the tape, right?
Yes, because I know he saw me crying.
Yeah.
So he
But if you were crying at the time of the tape, it wouldn't have been the third time. Let me ask you this, Miss Van Allen. Are you prepared to admit at this point that you've looked at this and it doesn't make any sense? Are you prepared to admit that this whole story about Daryl McDavid, the accountant, making death threats is a lie?
No, I'm not prepared to admit that because it's not true.
If he made a death threat while this tape was involved, that had to be one of the first two meetings. And you didn't go to the police after the first or the second meeting, did you?
What does that have to do with Daryl?
The question,
Threatening me?
you didn't go to the police.
No, I didn't go to the police. No.
Wait, you can't both talk. 20.
I didn't go to the I said that one already. I didn't go to police. No.
Back up. Ask another question. Tamara, are you ready yet?
She having trouble.
Oh,
Line 23, Tamiri on 978. They're saying to keep kicking her out.
okay. You didn't go to the police after the first or the second meeting. And you told us today that when you went to the police, it was because you were so upset about this threat, right?
But my life, yes, and my children.
Yes,
I have a daughter.
right. And as we got stuck on the fact that this story didn't make any sense in terms of the timing. What may have gotten lost is that when you tried to prompt Mr. Morrell about it, hey, do you remember this happened? He had no idea what you were talking about. That's also true.
Object to the form of the question
No, that's not true.
and the commentary.
One at a time, please.
Sorry.
Wait,
Object to the form of this question.
wait. The objection is sustained. Ask another question. Yes, Your Honor. You told us today that Daryl McDavid told you that you needed to sign some statements with a lawyer, right?
Yes.
This was when the time when there was no tape and you claimed that he was threatening you, right?
Yes.
So, he came up with the idea you have to sign this statement. Go to the lawyer and sign this statement, right?
I'm not sure if that was his idea or Rob's idea. I know that that's what I was told to do.
He communicated it to you though. It was McDavid that communicated it to you, right?
Yes.
Miss Van Allen, remember, when we're talking, we've been talking repeatedly about this conversation you had with federal agents in April of 2019.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, court. This is court. Anything further? Okay. Yes, Judge. I'm just trying to locate the portion I want to ask the witness about. So, What happened was, to make sure I understand all this, the lawyer was there and you signed a statement saying that all of the things you're saying now about Jane and Robert and this threesome, all of it, you signed a statement saying none of it was true, right? And in substance.
You're talking about when Daryl.
Yeah, when Daryl made you sign the statement.
That I repeated that again?
Sure. Daryl told you that you needed to sign the statement. You needed to sign a statement with a lawyer indicating that you didn't know anything about Robert and Jane ever having any sort of sexual relations, correct?
Yes. I didn't have any relations with Jane. That I didn't
Yes.
have any relation with Jane.
Yes. And you did that. You went to a lawyer and you signed a statement, correct?
Yes.
And you've said without hesitation that Daryl McDavid is the one who asked you to do that, correct?
Yes.
And you've said without hesitation, I'm sorry. Okay, 4/26/2019. When speaking to federal agents in Chicago, you said, as read, an attorney at the office asked me to make a video recorded statement denying that I had sex with Kelly and Jane. I agreed to make that statement. That's what you told about who asked you to make that statement in April of 2019.
You're twisting my words. The attorney. Yes, that's what it says. But the attorney. But the attorney. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Said they told me the statement to write. To say, he told me what to say.
What you told the agent then was, you added, VanAllen added that an attorney at the office asked her to make a video recorded statement
They did.
denying she had sex with Kelly and Jane.
Yes.
That's what you told them then.
Because Daryl told them to do that. Yes, I went into the room. I went to the room with them and he was out
But you
in the hall.
did not tell the agents at the time anything about Daryl telling you to do it. At that time, it was a lawyer, right?
I'm going to ask that the witness be allowed to answer the question, Your Honor.
I'm asking the witness can answer. I'm asking the question. At that time, oh goodness. Wait. You have a question now. You want her to answer that question. I'll ask it again to make sure that we're all clear here. Tamiria, are you back?
I'm back.
Tamiria.
What page and
Oh
number?
my God. Page
1983, number 2.
line
Hold on.
number 2.
1983, number 2. Okay, I'm sorry,
Hey
y'all.
guys, we're back. I'm sorry, y'all.
Y'all.
We're getting kicked out and all this kind of stuff. Thank you for bearing with us. Go ahead, Tamiria.
Sorry, y'all. So when you were talking to the agent in April 2019, you didn't say anything about Dale McDavid asking you to sign any statement. In April of 2019, you said it was a lawyer who asked you with no mention of him doing it.
I'm sure there's mention of him in there somewhere. Maybe not right there with
You think there's
with the document.
you think there's a place in the April of 2019
So you're saying
interview report that says that Daryl told you you had to sign this statement? Really?
I'm saying that Daryl's in that. My whole in that
indescribable.
That's whose statement?
Indiscernible.
Whose statement?
Again, Your Honor, I'm going to ask
One at a time.
that the witness be allowed to answer the question.
But my point, Miss Allen, Van Allen, is on this subject and about the statement you are now saying he told you you had to sign. And on April of 2019, you didn't mention him in connection with that statement at all, but instead mentioned a lawyer. And that is correct, right?
Yes, that's that statement. Yes, that statement. Hello.
Right.
Can y'all
So
hear
you
me?
told us this morning. Me? Not again.
What's wrong? There
So,
you are.
can y'all hear me?
We can hear you. You can't hear us.
Dang. I can hear y'all.
Okay, go ahead.
Hold on, I'm getting back. So you told us this meeting was that your third trip to Chicago. On the third trip to Chicago, Daryl was supposed to give you more money, right?
Yes, I mean, I don't know verbatim what I said, but yes, that he was to do the 30,000. What the hell she say? Sorry, guys, I gotta read that again.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, I don't know verbatim what I said, but yes, that he was to do that 30,000.
And you testified this morning he did give money, right?
30,000, but there was still 50 that nobody received.
Right. So you said he gave you $30,000 at this third meeting, and then there was more that he was going to get after trials. I mean, after Robert's trial, right? That's what you testified. That was your testimony this morning, right? Correct.
That was it. Yeah, because
Okay.
it was 200,000 at that point, and it was supposed to be 250 for, yeah.
And you, the final time you came to Chicago to get money was this third time, right?
Yes.
Where you got 30,000, right?
Yes.
Okay, the same interview in April of 2019, you told the agents that at that time that you returned to Chicago on a later date to receive a final payment from Kelly. That payment, did you materialize? That's what you told them then, right?
Can you put that back up? I'm trying to make sure you're not twisting anything. I can read it all of more than just that one line.
No, you can read the part we're talking about. You said that you returned to Chicago on a later date. On another occasion, to receive a final payment from Mr. Kelly. The payment did not materialize, and a final payment was to have been made at the conclusion of the state trial, right? I read that right, correct?
I don't recall saying that a payment didn't materialize.
Okay. You think that maybe somebody else made a mistake in reflecting that what you said, what you had said?
I've always stated 30,000.
Yeah, well, no, apparently not always. See, that's the thing.
Object that this is improper impeachment of the witness.
I would drop that. Right. You're right.
Now finish.
Oh, where I'm at.
Judge, that was out of
Oh,
line.
Judge, that was the line. That was out of line. I apologize. Let's move on.
Let's move along.
Okay. We were talking earlier about Facebook message between you and Keith Morrell.
I'm sorry. Yes.
And you talked about talking to Keith about a tape and whether maybe Chuck had one. Do you remember that?
I talked to him about what?
A tape and whether Chuck might have a copy.
Yes.
Okay. And you had that dialogue with him on Facebook Messenger, right? Correct?
I believe so. I know it was Facebook. Yes.
All right. And this is going to be Defense Exhibit McDavid 23. I'm showing you once again. With respect to the tape, whatever you said, you're talking about with Chuck, you said, I still don't want it out. That's why I asked if anyone has a copy, because if anyone should, it should be who's on it, not just floating around. Wouldn't you agree if anyone should have it? And Mr. Morrell's response was, if it ever existed, LOL, nobody should have it but you. Wow. Right?
Right. But where were you referring to?
Well, up here, you're talking about I still don't want it out. That's why I asked if anyone has a copy. It sounds like you're talking about this tape that you've been telling us the story about, right? Copy of the tape.
Yeah, the copy of it.
Yeah.
Not the one that I gave to Daryl.
Let's leave Daryl out of it for a second. We'll come back to him. And then when you started talking about a copy of this tape, Mr. Morrell answered if it ever existed, LOL. Wow. Should nobody have it but you? Wow.
If it ever existed.
If it ever existed. Did y'all catch that? He letting them know. Yeah. Oh Lord.
He's saying another
Man,
copy.
did y'all catch it at the top? Sylvia, I'm sorry. Let me go back up there.
He said another copy, yes.
He said, let me rewind what he said.
Keep going.
No? Okay.
We're not doing that.
Okay.
Because we got another show.
And
after
when
this.
you started talking about a copy of this tape, Mr. Morrell's answer is, if it ever existed, LOL, should nobody have it but you?
Yes. He's saying another copy, yes.
If it ever existed. And you told us earlier that it was Keith Morrell who had the tape in his possession, right?
Yes, he's saying a copy though, because we already gave it up. Turned it over to Darrell. So if another copy exists, it should be in my possession, but it's not. That's why I'm asking him, does another copy exist?
Miss VanAllen, as you can see, there has been multiple occasions when you've talked to agents where your story as it relates to Daryl McDavid has changed, right?
Not as it relates to him. No, I may not have said it his name in every situation.
I know you have changed.
It hasn't changed. It hasn't changed.
You said his name a lot. I'll give you that. But the details we've gone over this morning, there have been a lot of differences between what you said today and what you said back then, right?
It's not difference, but about what I said about Daryl. No, it's not.
Okay. You would agree with me that I have talked to you repeatedly about statements and interviews about Daryl, right?
You asked me things about Daryl, yes.
Yes. And those interviews and the statements about Daryl, I've talked about, have said different things about him than what you tried to tell us this morning.
Objection, asked and answered.
Yeah, you've been
That's fine. That's fine. I'm coming to the another
To
point.
move to another point here.
My point ultimately, Miss Van Allen, is that the reason for all of this changing of the story about Mr. McDavid is because the tape that you turned over to the lawyers in Chicago was not really a tape of Jane and you and Robert. That's why this story is so screwed up, right?
No, there was a tape of us.
There was a tape. It was an embarrassing tape for Rob, to be sure, but it was a tape of Robert and you and his wife. And that is what this whole hassle was about, right?
Definitely not. I've never had any relationship with Drea ever.
I'm sure you'll say that now, but
Objection to the commentary, Your Honor.
okay. The Miss Van Allen, the reason that your description of the sequences of this screen scenes on this tape you've been telling us about is different on the documentary and different in the grand jury in Cook County. It's not because everybody is making mistakes different in front of the jury trial in Chicago and Cook County. It's not because everyone is making mistakes. It's because that video is one you're telling a story about, but not one. Wait, it's because that video is one you're telling a story about, but not one. There's threesome thing. This threesome thing. It's not one that exists and was sold to Mr. Kelly.
Object to the form of the question.
Was it?
Oh, well, she can disagree with it, I guess,
Was it?
or agree with it.
I didn't hear the question.
Okay. The reason that you've had all these problems with the sequence of the scenes, the surviving R. Kelly statement, where they were different than what you said today, the jury testimony in 2008, where you said something different about what you've seen, then what you said today, the reasons for those differences is because this tape that was supposed to contain Jane and you and Robert, that's not really the tape that they were dealing with. What the lawyers in Chicago were dealing with back in 2007 is it?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Why do we need to go to writing something to a lawyer about Drea and Robert and me? That doesn't make sense.
Well, the reason you wrote the statement.
Wait. You're the one that asked the question, not her.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate that.
Let's
The reason,
get going so we can finish.
I know, I'm working on it, Judge. I have one more point after I get this done with this, and I'll be done once I complete that point. Okay. But the reason, Miss Van Allen, now that you mention it, for why you made the statement with the lawyer is because when Daryl McDavid told you there's no more money, you're not getting any more money, you threatened to go to the police and say a bunch of damaging stuff about Rob, didn't you?
Definitely not.
And when you made those threats, that's when the lawyer said, bring her in here. Let's interview her. Let's interview here and see what she's got to say for real, right?
Definitely not.
Okay. Well, the fact of the matter is, Miss Van Allen, when it comes to this tape that you say is Rob, Jane, and you, we talked about this earlier. Your words about what's on it and your memory is very important, right?
Objection. Asked and answered.
You said earlier that the consistency of your statements about the tape were important. Do you remember saying that at least?
Asked and answered.
It's a setup. It's leading into final point, Judge. I promise I'm getting there. I see the end of the tunnel.
All right, let's go.
Brindley. Brindley. Oh Lord, did we lose her again?
Mr. Brindley.
Did we lose her again, y'all?
All right. So your word and your consistency of
And
your
your
statement is
consistency of your
important.
statement is important.
I said it depends on the situation. That's what I said.
Should I? We can't hear you, Tamiria. Is it okay if I go until you?
Go ahead, because I need to go because we got another show. Come on.
This is the situation, your situation. You're talking about, we're talking about you now, not generally. But your word about these subjects is important, right?
Yes.
Yes. So let's come to this. You gave a bit of a testimony this morning that made a note of because Mr. Julian asked you, when you met Mr. Kelly, did you tell him how old you were? And you said, yes, I did. I told him I was 17 years old. Do you remember saying that?
Yes.
And you said you met Mr. Kelly at the Home Alone video shoot, right?
Yes.
You're sure of that?
Yes.
Okay. And when your birth date is June 11th, 1980, correct? Yes, right?
Yes.
Okay. So when you told Mr. Kelly that you were 17 years old, I mean, you obviously knew your age, right?
I mean, of course, I know my age, but I just turned 18.
Are you now that's what I'm trying to. Are you suggesting you were okay? Are you suggesting that when you met Mr. Kelly at this video shoot, you forgot your actual age? Really?
No, I'm not suggesting that.
Okay. Well, here's the deal. You know now that the video shoot for Home Alone, the song was shot in August, the end of August. I'm sorry. What? It was September. Okay. Council conferring. I take it back. Mm. You know, now that it's September of 1998 when the video was shot, you know now, don't you?
Of course it was in 1998. Yes.
No, it was September of 1998, right?
I don't know when. I know it was August or September. Yes.
Okay. August or September. Your birthday was in June of 98, right?
Correct.
So in June, you turned 18, right?
Yes.
So by August or September, you certainly, when you met Mr. Kelly, you certainly hadn't forgotten and believed that you were really 17, did you?
No.
So when you said this morning that you told Mr. Kelly you were 17 years old, was that statement false?
When I thought back to the video shoot, it was cold, and I assumed that because it was cold, it was fall. I mean, it was winter or spring.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
hold on. I just want to say one thing. This is Atlanta, Georgia, Alpharetta. September is hot. I just want to tell you that. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, okay. You told the prosecutor this morning that you told Mr. Kelly that you were 17 years old. Are you
Yes.
saying now you told him that you were 18 years old?
I didn't say that.
Okay. So you did tell him that you were 17 years old.
Yes.
At the time when you were actually 18 years old?
Yes.
Okay. Now, it's not just Mr. Kelly who you said you were 17 years old to. When you testified before the grand jury in this case, you told the grand jury that you met Robert Kelly when you were 17 years old, right?
Yes, based on what I could remember.
Okay. And obviously, at the time you met Robert Kelly, From what I understand, it was very memorable, right?
Not the time of the year, no.
Okay. But the occasion when you met him, you knew it was that video, right?
uh, yes, but I didn't know the time of the year. He gave me a sweater. I thought it was cold.
Okay. I'm not I'm not asking whether you thought it was cold or not. You're saying, you're saying we're going to get to another point on this subject. That's helpful to you. Or maybe to me. But ultimately,
Object to this commentary.
I would draw that. That was improper. Miss VanAllen, you told the grand jury in this case you met him when you were 17, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
You told the jury in his 2008 trial that you met him when you were 17, right?
Yes.
When you met with the agents in March of 2019, April of 2019, you told them when you were interacting with Mr. Kelly in the beginning, you were 17, right?
To the best of my knowledge, I was.
Yes, but you understand, and you understood when you were talking to the agents in this case that being 17 made you a victim of federal child pornography. You understood that, didn't you?
Honestly, I didn't.
In fact, they told you when the charges were first going to come out and had a connection to you, they told you that you were going to be called minor number 2, right? You remember that?
I wasn't aware of that before. They said it, though I was not.
Yeah, okay. They told you you were going to be minor number 2, right?
I guess so.
Yeah. And they told you were going to be minor number 2 because 17 allowed you. That made you a minor for purposes of the charges, right?
I guess so.
Okay. On Surviving R. Kelly, you said that you met Robert Kelly when you were 17 years old, right?
I told you yes. Damn.
Okay. I've told everyone that. I'm
I
sorry.
told I
Okay.
told everyone that because that's what I thought out at the time.
Being 17, that claim, it allowed you to say that you were a minor and a victim of Mr. Kelly.
This has been asked and answered.
Right.
Your Honor, objection.
No, I'm asking this question. Well, let me read you back. Line 16 on 1997.
Come on, y'all. We got another show. Come on.
Okay. I'm getting there, Judge. There's another point coming. It's important. I'm not wasting time. Go ahead, hurry up. Miss VanAllen, being 17 allowed you to claim that you were a minor and a victim of Mr. Kelly, right?
I never claimed to be a minor or a victim. I said what I knew to be true.
Okay, well, you've said now, you've admitted to me, you told all kinds of people that you were 17. You told the prosecutors and the grand jurors.
I've always said to the best of my knowledge as far as I can remember.
But there's something else that you said too, that maybe you don't remember. You said, so now what you're saying is you've been mistaken all along about your age at the time you met Mr. Kelly, right?
When I was discussing it, yes.
Yeah. And the only reason anybody you ever admitted that you weren't 17 is because, I'm sorry. And the only reason you ever admitted that you weren't 17 is because the prosecutors in this case confronted you with the fact that the video wasn't shot at the time that you would allow you to be 17, didn't they? They told you.
I don't remember that.
You don't?
No. I mean, they probably did, but
Yes.
I'm not saying they didn't, but I don't remember.
Okay. All right. Because now you would acknowledge, I hope, that if it's August of 1998, you're definitely 18 and not 17, right?
Say it again?
You were definitely 18 and not 17 in August of 1998. You agree with that, right?
Yes, yeah, right, yes.
Well, here's the thing. When you were telling your stories, your account of events to agents, there was an incident when you spoke to them on the 28th of May, 2019, the agents from Chicago. I'll show you that. I'll show that to you so it refreshes your memory as to the date. Do you see that? Lisa and VanAllen interviewed May 28th, 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see that?
I see it.
Okay. Whenever you're ready, Tamir, let me know. Allowed you to claim
I'm ready.
Okay.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
1997 line what?
Oh, no, we're on 1999, line 14.
Okay, hold on. 1999 line 14. Okay. Okay, Miss VanAllen. During that interview, you told the agents this. On one occasion, when you were under 18 years of age, you traveled to Chicago to meet Kelly using the identification of an older female friend. You told the agents that, didn't you?
But I have to use a friend of mine's identification. Was that? Wait a minute.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Okay.
Before.
Before.
Right. Right. But
So it's not false.
here's the thing. You were 18 the whole, you've admitted now, you were 18 the whole time you knew Robert Kelly, right?
Yes. Right. Yes.
Okay. And so if you were going to meet Kelly and you were already 18 and you know your age, then there's no way in the world you would need to borrow anybody's older ID.
I borrowed her ID because I didn't have mine. I lost mine and I wanted to travel.
Okay. So when you say to the agents on one occasion, when you're under 18, you travel to Chicago to meet Kelly using an identification card of an older female friend, it was because you lost your ID.
That's their statement. You know that, right?
It's your statement
It's
as it's been reported.
they wrote that.
Yeah, and you didn't. I think you. I think you. I take it you didn't tell them anything about this.
I didn't tell them about me using an older friend's ID. Yes, I did.
You did, and you told them that because you were leading them to believe that you were under 18 and you wanted to be a victim, right?
No, I don't want to be a victim.
Because being a victim allows you to sell books, right?
Objection. This has been asked and answered.
I think you're
Fine enough.
giving the final argument.
When you're being 18 years old and not a minor at the time, what you were, as it turns out, was a grown adult person that was engaging, according to you, in sex with a 14-year-old, right?
I thought she was 16,
Okay.
which is still a minor, but I didn't think she was 14.
I'm going to pick up on, I was going to get there anyway. You thought she was 16. So it was okay.
I never said it was okay. I was just stating the truth, which is that I knew.
You were 18 years old. You were adult. You were having sex with what you thought will give you the benefit of that. You thought was a 16-year-old, right?
16 years old.
And you know that's a crime, right?
I mean, that was not something we were thinking at the time. I knew I wasn't.
You weren't thinking about it
No.
at the time. So
I have friends that are
certainly after
16 when I was 18.
certainly after the law enforcement started talking to you about this case, you started talking about getting immunity. You know then that it was a crime, right?
Yes, but I was actually testifying before I ever knew that I needed immunity.
In 2008, when you gave your testimony before a jury, then they gave you immunity too, state and federal, right?
Yes.
So you did know.
Not right away. They told me, they pulled me to the side.
So right before you testified, they pulled you to the side and said they were going to give you immunity. Are you kidding me?
It was a hearing, yes.
All right, Miss VanAllen. Well, at the beginning of our discussion this afternoon, I asked you when people lie repeatedly, does that mean that's someone's word you can trust? And you said it depends on the circumstances, right?
Yes, I did.
And the reason you had to say it depends on the circumstances is because you knew very well that your circumstances here do not indicate someone who has been honest, do they?
I'm honest.
Indeed. I have no further questions with this for this. For this.
Who's
She
next?
called her this individual judge.
Judge, I have a very short cross if pardon. I have a very short cross if you don't mind. All right, go ahead. Hello, Miss VanAllen.
Hello.
So I just want to ask you some quick questions, not about what's on the tape, okay? But the physical tapes themselves. Okay? You stated that the tapes were left in a gym bag, right?
Yes.
And the gym bag was rarely, if ever, left unattended, right?
It was usually with Rob.
Okay, so rarely left unattended.
Yeah.
Okay. You stated that when it was, that's when you went into the bag, correct?
Yeah, one time. Yeah.
Okay. And before taking the tape that you allegedly took, you had to watch various tapes, right?
Yes.
And you had to watch those tapes because just by looking at them, you couldn't tell what was on the tapes, right?
Right.
I caught that. Okay. So they weren't labeled in any way, right?
Honestly, I'm not sure if they had something on them. I was just indicating.
Okay. So moving on to your testimony about Mr. Brown. You know Mr. Brown to be an assistant.
Yes.
And just to clarify, Yule Brown is a separate person from Milton Brown, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. And I believe you described him in a previous interview as being a runner or assistant.
Personal assistant. Yes.
Okay. Which means he basically did different tasks that he was asked to do by
Yes.
Mr. Kelly.
Uh-huh.
And you're aware that runners' assistants pick up money from time to time
Pick up money?
from the bank.
Yes, I guess so.
Okay. And they would take that money to Mr. Kelly sometimes.
I guess if it was his or for him.
Okay. And then if it isn't for him, they would give it to whoever he requests they give it to.
Yes.
So, in addition to picking up money and dropping it off, sending it to individuals that he requests, they also drive people, right?
Yes.
They drive his guests, musicians, family members, etc., right?
Yes.
Okay. And that um and they includes Milton Brown and all the other assistants and runners, etc., right?
Yes.
Okay, so you stated that Milton Brown drove you to this attorney's office, the one that's pretty close to here on Jackson Street, I believe you said.
Yes.
Okay. And when Milton drove you there, he was in the front seat and you were in the back seat.
Yes.
He let you out of the car.
Yes.
You went upstairs.
Yes.
Milton was in the car.
He did not go up.
Okay. He did not go up.
No, he didn't.
Okay. Any of the times he did not go up?
He did not go up.
Okay. And of course, each of the times he drove you there, that was a task that Mr. Kelly asked him to do, right?
I agree. Yes.
Okay. And then you testified that one time you came down crying, right?
Uh-huh.
And
Yes.
you said that you told Milton about that.
Yes. Well, he asked me, because I was hysterical, like
Right. So,
he was trying to figure out why I was so upset.
and you told him why you were upset because he asked you why you were upset. He was
Yes.
concerned.
Yes.
Okay. And he asked you what was wrong because he had no idea what happened up there because he wasn't there.
I assume I don't know. I don't know what he knew about.
You know that he was not there.
Right. He wasn't up there.
Regardless of when this threat happened.
He wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't
Okay.
there for the threat.
Okay. So again, he drove you to and from your destination as he was tasked to do, right?
Yes.
And that's all he did.
Yes, I assume.
Okay. No further questions, Your Honor. Miss Bonjean, can you finish by 5 o'clock?
I don't. Where'd she go? Oh, she not. I don't think
I
so,
don't think
but
Okay, go ahead.
I don't think so, but
All right. We'll suspend until 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Have a nice evening. All rise.
Judge, could we address something once the witness leaves? It's the motion we raised the other day that we would like to address at a sidebar. It's filed under seal. This shouldn't take only a couple of minutes.
Okay. Proceedings to be heard at the sidebar bar on record. So this is all redacted. Okay. Have a nice evening, everyone. Proceedings adjourned at 4:56 p.m.
All right, guys, we got it.
Yay, we
We're gonna
made
start
it.
the new one next. We're gonna do it at 6:45 instead of 6:30 because we're pushing it. I gotta send the transcript to the readers. Okay, guys, we'll see you later. Guys, don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. All right, guys, see y'all later. Bye. People in the back, don't go nowhere.
Okay.
Put some music on. Bye, guys.